My favorite place on earth. Paycor Stadium. That's right. I'm a Bengals fan, okay? This is going to happen. Guys, Paycor Stadium. The beautiful stadium it is. Today we're taking a look at it in Madden 25, 24, 23, and 22. And I could have just said Madden 22 to Madden 25. But you know what? I said it every intro. Alright? Try and change it up a little bit. Making it a little bit more interesting, okay? Anyway, continue down the line here. We got our void door out to nowhere. So you go through that door, you go through this little thing right here, you just go to nowhere and I guess you die? Is that really what we do? Madden 22 was a weird year of Madden, okay? We're starting off with 22 because 22 is the biggest stadium in Madden. Like, in all the stadiums in Madden 22 was the biggest. But they were never complete, man. Or, I guess the maps, not the stadiums. The maps were the biggest. But they were never complete. And it just goes to show as we go through these stadiums is that 22 was such a mess of a stadium game. Like, outside of the stadiums, maps, humongous, lots of details, lots of things going on. But when it comes to inside the stadiums, EA Sports just did not give a fluff. Like, outside the stadiums, yes, but not inside. Now, I will give Paycor Stadium a lot of credit. This is probably the best locker room we have seen in a Madden 22 stadium. And then, in the reflection right there in the glass, you get to see Cincinnati, which I really do like because most of the time it's just the video game. This is actually, I believe that's a real image of Cincinnati, but which again is cool. It's like the little details you get. But for 22, again, like I said, it was just a piss poor year. They put details outside the stadium, but the stadium themselves, they just did not care to actually try as much on, which, you know, we're not going to see the outside. We're only seeing the inside. So, EA Sports, it's in the game. With that being said, we do get vendors. Yeah, let's go. We get pizza. We get, cheeseburgers. They don't have chili? Bro. Skyline chili. Oh, this is a disgrace. There's no Skyline chili, is there? Guest services? Okay. But, like, what about Skyline chili? I live in Dayton, Ohio, so I'm like 30, 45 minutes away from this. It's about an hour. I could make it 45 minutes. It's not 30. I'm an hour away. But I've been to Paycor plenty of times, and I love Paycor. I really do. We revamped the locker room as of the last 3 years. We've been revamping it. The locker room, the strength room, the weight room. Guys do not know I do run a First Stop Bengals YouTube channel, so I cover the Bengals every single day. I produce 3 to 5 videos every day on the Bengals. Huge Bengals fan, love the Bengals. Stream once a week on my First Stop Bengals channel. We stream every single Bengals game, and we go crazy and insane. And if I ever sound like I lose my voice in one of these videos, it's because I was probably screaming. Last night was an insane night. Chase Brown doesn't fumble, we probably win that game. But it is what it is. I love Chase Brown, so I'm not going to get into that. With that being said, though, we got our little suites up here. And then over here, we got a little walkway for the fans. Walkway for the fans here. Now, again, keep in mind, eventually, there are rumors that they're going to... there's right now rumors that they're going to put a dome on this stadium, which I think would be absolutely horrendous. We're going to have $500 million worth of upgrades, apparently. Our lease runs out in 2026. Paycor, man. They figured something out. I believe the stadium was built in 2002, I want to say. So it's not really that old of a stadium compared to some stadiums in the NFL. I know most stadiums are getting either upgraded, renovated, or they're just getting a new stadium. I know the Bills, for example, are getting a new stadium, but it's, again, like I said, definitely still a very beautiful stadium. On the outside here, we got a little services, part of Paycor Stadium here. We got the highway. Now, what they don't show you in this is the highway that goes to the process field. Excuse me, not process facility. Process field. They don't show you that, I don't think. Or the red light, which we have had some issues earlier this year of that. But for the most part, and I got to give EA Sports a lot of credit here, because keep in mind, 22 is going to be really a lot of stuff going on outside the stadium. This is where they cared about the outside of the stadium the most. You got 2 practice fields right here. But 22, they go crazy with this stadium. You got the rivers. You got, obviously, the bridges with the railroad right next to the bridge for, going across the water. And every single bridge, as you can see, is actually detailed and textured, which I really think is kind of crazy because I didn't expect that. I think it actually gets worse in Madden 23 and Madden 24, which is ironic to say because you would think it would get worse in 22 because that's the, old game. But again, no. We got the Cincinnati Red Stadium right here. Wish we were better. That's beside the point. We do have ourselves the roadway down here. And again, going to downtown Cincinnati here. A lot more of the river, speech impediment, goes all the way over here. And again, it's a humongous map, which Madden 22, pretty much what Madden 22 is, just humongous maps. And a lot of things going on that are nowhere near the stadium. Like, the stadium is all the way on the right-hand side there. We're going all the way over here to different buildings and different areas, and we're nowhere near the stadium in any way possible at this moment in time. Which, do you need all this detail? Probably not, because you can't see this from the actual field. But hey, it's a nice little extra detail to have. I mean, when you really take a look at this, right? Let's say you're not a Madden fan, you're not a football fan, you're not a Madden fan, and someone shows you this stadium right now. They show you this map I'm showing you right now. Dude, there's no way you would think, oh yeah, that's Paycor Stadium. You wouldn't even think this is Madden. That's what's crazy about Madden 22 maps, especially. Again, 23, 24 is so great, but 22, with how much detail / how big the 22 maps were, it's just insane. You could look at this and you don't know we're even in a Madden game anymore. You show this video to a random person and say, guess what video game this is? They're gonna say, you probably can't even guess it. The last thing they're gonna think is, oh yeah, you're playing a Madden game. I mean, you have a bunch of buildings, you have a humongous map. They might think you're playing City Skylines or something, or maybe Sims or something, right? A kind of game like that. But it's no, this is a football video game. This is what football video games look like. Because outside of the stadium, you don't need all of it, but it's there. Just remember, when you're wondering why, when you're downloading Madden, you're like, this is 120 gigabytes, man. This is so freaking crazy. Yeah. That's why. It's 120 gigabytes. Because you got maps like this. you got downtown Cincinnati rebuilt in a video game. Oh, make sure you get your extra extension hard drive so that you can never see it, but know it's there. Now, I don't think these maps, in all honesty, these maps aren't really that, much gigabytes. I would have to guess each map is probably maybe 50 kilobytes. I don't think, maybe 50 megabytes. I would say 500 kilobytes or 50 megabytes. I don't think they're even 500 megabytes. I would say probably 100 megabytes at that. All the maps together, probably around 3.2 gigabytes. That's what I would probably have to guess if I had to put all the maps together and get one file size, probably 3.2 gigabytes. Which isn't really that crazy, in all honesty, because it's a lot, okay? This is a lot of content. But overall wise, still a very beautiful stadium. Oh man, I love this stadium. I'm a fanboy, bro. What can I say? I love this team. So when I see this stadium and I see that orange and black, it gets me going, man. This is my Viagra. It gets me going. Okay, it's not that much. It's not that much. But anyway, though, we got ourselves a beautiful Paycor Stadium, Rule of the Jungle. I should have did this with the all white. Cause I love the white tiger. I should have did with the white end zones, with the white on black. I still think that is the best color combo in the NFL. Is the white tiger unis. So you put the white tiger on the field, and it looks even better. I didn't realize how much parking there is around the stadium right here. You know, I did say in another video that eventually I'm going to actually recreate one of these things, like the most realistic recreation of one of these stadiums, right? And I'm gonna, at the end of the year, and I'm gonna do the outside too. By the way, this is Madden 23. I should do Paycor Stadium, but I don't know. I was gonna do Ravens Stadium potentially, or Paycor, or one of these. I'll probably, I don't know. I gotta figure that one out, because I've been to both locations. Sadly, Ravens a lot, and then I've been to Paycor a lot too. In here, though, this is a little bit more detailed of a locker room, how they're supposed to be over the year. Every year, the locker room gets better and better. 24 is usually when it really breaks out and expands. 23 is a lot better than 22. 23 is usually just a smaller map than Madden 22. It's a little bit better details. It's not really in crazy better. It's just a tad bit better, but it's a smaller map. So the size of the map is just a lot smaller. Probably the file size of the map is a lot smaller as well. So it's just kind of a little bit smaller, but it's still the same as Madden 22 for the most part. Madden 23 wasn't really that big of an upgrade. And then you get to Madden 24, and that's when you get yourself a humongous upgrade, because that not only is it next gen, which I don't really think next gen does too much to make it crazy insane, but it definitely helps out a tad bit. But you also get a lot more detail. And I feel like with next gen coming to PC, because it was on Xbox and PlayStation for a while, but now that it was actually added to PC, I feel like EA wanted to kind of go crazy. And that's why you see with Madden 25, it's not that much crazier than Madden 24 was, because of the fact that it's, it was already next gen on PC for a year. So I don't think EA cared as much. Where obviously with Madden 24, it was the hot new thing, so they wanted to really make it look good. But the fact there's no Skyline Chili as any of the things here is kind of crazy. Bro, Skyline Chili is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes. It's not really, because every time I have it, I end up pooping a lot. And it's a problem. But man, it does hit. Gold line is also good. But Skyline is it, man. Gold Star. Why am I say Gold Line? Gold Star is good too. But man, that Skyline Chili. You get it right, not warmed over, not cooked after. I'm talking about right out of it. Get that right fresh. That's better than sex. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's better than sex. Anyway, that's beside the point. I gotta go get some Skyline Chili after this video. Skyline Chili, man. Baby. We got squeets up here with the little tables. Now, Madden 23 and Madden 22 did not know what fans were. They didn't have an idea. EA Sports. But Madden 24, and we're about to get to it in a second after we go through the city again, is that Madden 24 is when they decided that fans needs to be in every living inch of the stadium. And because this is a outdoor stadium, it's not a dome, you're going to see after we get to Madden 24 that there are fans every centimeter of the stadium. For whatever reason, EA decided that is the direction that they were going to go with Madden 24. But Madden 23, we're still kind of stuffable, not having fans every single 3-inch of every single, space of a stadium. Now, you can see the bridges, right? What happened? EA, what happened? You had detailed bridges in Madden 22, right? They look great. It's kind of funny to say this, and you see this over the series so far. 22, when it comes to outside the map, it looks like that should be Madden 25. Like, it only gets worse outside the map every year, which is ironic because it's like they downgrade. Instead of upgrading like you're supposed to every single year, you know, like, oh, this is a new Madden, we upgrade, right? They downgrade the outside of the maps. And then, which you might say, okay, well, that's good, right? They upgrade the inside of the stadium. No, not really. No. They downgrade. They don't upgrade. It's like every year they just downgrade. They add a little bit of extra details here and there in the locker room and stuff like that. And maybe some other things. But for the most part, yeah, no, they downgrade. Which is insane. Because, bro, that's not how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be the opposite. You know, every year you get better. Every year it looks better. Every year there's things that are going on. You like it, you know. But no, EA Sports is just random. They are the most random company in the world. Gotta love them. Anyway, though, we got ourselves here a beautiful, non-functioning Cincinnati. Oh, man. 22 was the peak. They peaked outside the stadium. I'm learning more and more in 22. 23, 24, 25. It's there. It's there. It's there. Ooh. Anyway. Got this bridge right here that, again, is just, like, non-textured, but was textured a lot. Actually, no, that bridge looks the same from 22. Which, again, just copy and paste from a year. So, this map, I know it still is humongous, and it is, because it's Madden 23, but it's just a tad bit smaller. I think I mapped these out before. They're 5% smaller every year. Like, the map is just 5% smaller. Which sounds so weird, but yeah. But the smallest map is the Patriots map. And every year in Madden, it just gets smaller and smaller, and it's already tiny as freaking can be. So they just make it smaller and smaller out of nowhere. I think EA Sports just does things without thinking, ever. Yeah, that's a pretty good, accurate representation. But now getting into Madden 24 in a second here, you're going to see some of these buildings here as we go through are less and less textured. But the graphics are about to get good because this is Madden 24 next gen version, actually going to be good. The graphics are going to look the same, guys. That's the joke. I for some reason, every time I see this, it's like I always forget how much parking there is as we go along here. We should have had working cars in this. I feel like that would have made this so much better overall wise. To have working cars in these maps. Like they do with the dome stadiums. Would have been so much better. Alright, Madden 24. There we go. Again, I try to get every single detail in these, kind of go through the whole entire map, go through every single detail. So I know you might say, like, oh man, you're going through all these areas, you take forever. And the point is just to see all these areas. You know, if you want to skip forward and go to Madden 24, it's all up to you. But for those who want to see all the areas and live in Cincinnati and live here, listen, I love this stadium, okay? I love this stadium, I love the team. I'm going to go extra for this one, okay? Bite me. I don't know. Anyway, Madden 24. The graphics do look a little bit better. They're not, like, insanely better. It's not, like, night and day type of crap. But it definitely does look a little bit better than Madden 23 and Madden 22. Now, the question is, with Madden 24, are we going to have the open-ended areas? No. So, it took them 2 years to fix that. So, just think about it like this. And then these are all, I believe, all the season ticket holders' names on the sides. Maybe not. Okay, I thought they were. I'm not sure if that's in real life or not. Again, they changed the locker room completely, so they got rid of like a lot of the walls that go into the locker room. They got rid of them because they said they wanted to make it more open so that everyone feels together. So it's a little bit different now than it was before, which is, you know, different. Going over here though, yeah, Madden 24. This is the only problem I have with Madden 24 is how dark it is. Madden 24 is the darkest game, like when it comes to these maps. Period. Whenever they can make it dark, they make it like pitch black in there, and it's just oof. It's an eerie feeling. So like, I'm not going to probably go over there, but if we went through like underneath the like section right next to the field where it's like complete darkness, that whole thing would be complete darkness. Even though sun should be hitting and should be shining, it does not. So you see that area right there does not hit sun. Behind the area right there, all darkness. It's a weird thing. But anyway, so now we have our ants, and I call them ants because that's what they are. This is Madden 24, so EA Sports decided that every single 3 inches of the stadium needed to have ants that would walk around in circles and just not really do anything at all, but just walk around in circles. It's like, and you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about, the darkness. This is insanely dark. Like other Maddens, 22, 23, and 25, they'll have like lights in there that lights it up, right? Natural light to light it up. That's not the case with Madden 22 for whatever. I mean, Madden 24 for some reason. They just did not understand that concept / didn't want to go with that concept. They're like, yeah, let's just have it so that it's not lit up and, you know, people can't see what's going on inside that area. EA, like, they don't surprise me, but they do. And when they do, I just look at them and say, oh, that's EA for you. EA. So now this map is 5% smaller than the other maps. So, again, you're just going straight down the list here. Straight down. So you're going from, you know, this map, just 5% lower. It doesn't mean that there's not as much detail, and again, this is still a very big map. It kind of goes to show how big the original map really was, because it just shows, like, even with 5% smaller, it's still a humongous map. Even with 5% smaller, it's still humongous. And you still get a lot of stuff going on in this map, even if it's smaller than it was in Madden 22 or Madden 23 or Madden 24. It's still a very small map. And good looking map. Shout out to EA Sports. They actually did make this probably the best looking map in Madden because it's Paycor Stadium and I'm biased. Alright. Let's go ahead and go through the railroad tracks here. Now you can see the elevation's kind of wonky. That's something that we've talked about many times in Madden, but if you are new, the elevation being wonky is just kind of a side effect of the Madden camera. The Madden camera is supposed to go as far up as the field is in Madden. So when you leave the field, right, and you go through all this where I'm right now, this was never supposed to be a thing. EA never expected anyone to do what I'm doing here. So that's kind of the issue. But, you know, that's kind of what we do here when it comes to Madden. We just break the rules and break everything. So, yeah, they were never expecting any of this to happen. So the fact that this is happening, and I can do this, changing it up a little bit. We have ourselves random shadows of buildings. That's another thing I do really like about this is, so obviously the sun's in the sky, right? And really what this is, if you think about it like this when it comes to these stadiums, it's a sandbox. This is a sandbox, and you have a stadium in the middle, and then you have all these other, you know, buildings all around pretty much, right? And it's just the sun hits off and then gives shadows on the ground. I don't know, that's just, that kind of crap always I love 3D graphic design and 3D renders. So when I see this stuff just gets me going. Anyway, though, as you can see, the bridges are even less detailed than they were in the previous Maddens. It's just like, again, as you go throughout Maddens, less and less detail. Instead of it being the opposite, where it's, you know, goes in the upward trend, with this, it's automatically downward trend over and over and over again until it's GG. But, what you gonna do? EA Sports. It's in the game. Gotta love the company. Hate the company. But we are about to go to Madden 25, which is actually the best stadium possible because the fact it actually does give you decent content. It's decent. Madden 25 is the most updated / everything that is good about 22 to 24 is updated and fixed in Madden 25. For the most part. Hey, we got my Red Stadium here, man. Beautiful Cincinnati Reds. Even though we're not that good of a team right now. I don't know why, but it looks like... I don't know. It looks like that stadium got graffitied in Madden. Am I crazy, or does this not look like it's kind of graffitied? I guess it's just a low-end texture, so like it's like kind of blurry textures, but it looks like it got graffitied in a way, which always is weird. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy. But when I looked at that stadium, that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, yeah, we got some graffiti textures going on here, but gotcha. Perfect. All right, so now kicking off the final stadium. The final product that honestly probably is not going to look better than Madden 22 is Madden 25. Oh, Hail Mary. And Madden 25. There you go. Thank you. Sorry. Gotta put that one in there. Yeah, I mean, graphic-wise, it's the best. Like, that's bar none. I know I made a joke about the graphics, but Madden 25 is the best graphics. Overall-wise, looks the best. Inside the locker room, it's better than the other Maddens. It's not, like, crazy great. It's still way too dark in random locations for no reason. But for what it is a very, very good representation of the locker room. Even though we completely changed the locker room. So I'm pretty sure it's like just the last year's locker room before we really changed it. Although, I don't know, because our changes have been like a 3-year process. But it's the old. Out with the old, in with the new. Madden 26 better have our new locker room set up. Because this is... kind of changed. We changed our locker room, our weight room, and our strength room. So we changed all that content. We gotta get it. Gotta get an updated version, EA. And we only have 3 exit points. So, or actually 2 exit points. Excuse me, 2 locker rooms. So yeah, got this one over here. We got some stuff on the wall here. No food or drinks inside the locker room. Authorized personnel use only. You don't want to go through those white doors right there. Those white doors, you don't come back when you go through those white doors. That's where we send the Cleveland Brownies. That's where we send the Cleveland Brownies, okay? You don't want to go through those white doors. You won't come back the same. Yeah. That's what happens. Alright, so up here, though, we have ourselves a little sit-around area. We have burgers, we have chicken tenders and french fries, no Skyline chili. That should be criminal. Just like Madden 24, there are going to be people every 3 inches of this stadium because that's what happens during a Bengals game, is that nobody actually sits in their seat. Everyone just goes there to stand around and do nothing. Yeah. That's pretty much what apparently EA Sports expects. All I know is during actual games, where ain't nobody standing around looking and like just talking to people. We are focused. We are screaming hooday. We are saying, where's our Skyline chili and our beer? And we are very angry because somehow, some way, we're doing stupid stuff during the game. Like losing. Sometimes. Occasionally. So, it... not as accurate as it could be. Is what I'll say. We got our beautiful side of our stadium here. Over here again. Random people just standing on the walkway there. Can't even... they're not even going... they're not doing anything, bro. They're just standing there menacingly. All right. Over here inside the stadium, very dark. And again, not this stadium. It looks like a lot of the other stadiums we have where it's like not really lit up or anything. It's kind of just really darkness, which I thought they fixed this in Madden 25. I did go through all the Madden 25 stadiums. I thought they fixed a lot of this issue. It looks like that is not the case, sadly. So we're kind of still sitting in this kind of dark, gloomy areas. We got burgers. We got burgers again. But don't get me wrong, you can get a burger at Paycor Stadium, and it's very good. It's very expensive, but that's kind of just every NFL stadium, let's be honest. There's no NFL stadium you're going to walk through and go through and not have to spend an arm and a leg. Like, soda's going to cost you probably $5 or $6. Burgers are probably going to be $15, $20. Hot dogs, same concept, you know, beer, same concept. I don't drink, though, but if I did drink, you would. Like, everything is expensive at stadiums. But that's why you pay to go to them, and you take out a second mortgage on your home when you're at them. That's life. That's life in general. Anyway, though, going through here, again, very good representation, really good recreation. A lot of these maps I haven't been to. A lot of these stadiums I haven't been to. Being to this stadium so many times that I have, it's a good representation. I don't think it's perfect. It's not one for one, but it's definitely a good concept here. That's what I'll say. Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. That's what I'll say. It's good enough. But going over here, we do have ourselves a little walkway, and look at this. There's literally people standing in the middle of the road. That's what I'm talking about, bro. People standing in the middle of the freaking road. EA. It does not matter. It does not affect the game. It does not affect anything. But can you please not have people stand in the middle of the fluffing road? Like, bro, who just has people standing in the middle of the fluffing road? I don't get it. I should get it. Because there should be people staying in the middle of the fluffing road. Anyway. Going downtown Cincinnati here, not worrying about people in the fluffing road. We got our bridge here, which, again, you know, I feel like it's more textured than Madden 23. We have a little area over here where we have a bunch of buildings, a bunch of not houses, but a bunch of buildings. Looks like a lot of commercial stuff. That's another thing. Some of these stadiums have, like, neighborhoods and houses, and a lot of these stadiums do not, which I find very interesting. Because, like, what? So some stadiums have people who live near them, and other stadiums, nobody lives near them. That's what I'm getting out of all this. EA Sports has weird ideas on how NFL fans work. Some of them, they live near the stadium. Some, there's no one who lives near them for 60 hours. Or, I mean, like, a long, long way. And that's why they got to stand in the middle of the road. Because they're trying to get that money back that they spent driving to the stadium so that they can get a lawsuit. I guess that's really what we're going with. Because I don't think I've seen one single house in this stadium so far. And again, this 5% smaller thing really does not work too well when it comes to this stadium map. They just went crazy with this Paycor stadium map. Got this gigantic body of ocean. Got the bridges right there, and you got Paycor over there. Okay, so these are a lot. Okay, hold up. Okay, they did good here. So some of these bridges in other Maddens, as you saw, were like not that textured, except for Madden 22. Madden 22 was crazy. But in Madden 23 and 24, these weren't textured. They're textured again in Madden 25. So they took Madden 22 and did the same textures and put them in Madden 25, but then they skipped Madden 23 and Madden 24. That is so interesting. And I also feel like this looks a little bit better in Madden 25 than it does in the other Maddens. Maybe I'm crazy on that one, but I feel like it looks a little bit better. Maybe not much, but just enough that it's like, okay, this is an upgrade. A little bit of an upgrade, but not by much. Just a tad bit. A teensy wincy. A wincy teensy. Anyway, guys, definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Make sure to like and subscribe button down below if you are indeed new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.